go. Doing it again. Live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite podcast.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah. Riffin with Griffin.
With Griffin, yeah.
Riffin with Griffin.
With Griffin, baby.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Got a late start today, but you know, it is what it is. We're going. Appreciate all the loyal followers. Today, do you have too many passwords? Get you caught up on the NBA, my thoughts. And there's a lawsuit about that Quiet on the Set documentary. Want to discuss it, just documentaries in general. Baby updates plus news and notes around my world. But either way, everybody, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin.
With Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, whoa, yeah.
Riffin with
All right, y'all, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Riffin with Griffin, thank you for being here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. That's always important to hit the subscribe button so you can know when I'm going live and know when I upload videos and whatnot. Excuse me, live on Twitch most days. And if you're on Twitch, you become a subscriber on Twitch. That's, paid subscriber. You're going to get to see my Monday nuance, which also goes on to Patreon. So you can be a Patreon member or you could be a sub on Twitch. Either way, I didn't have an episode this past Monday because I was in Austin. It was like weird. But don't worry, I'm going to have a longer Monday nuance next week. So thanks for being here for that, as always. And your support for the show is appreciated. So thank you very much, everybody in chat. And, people that listen on all the audio platforms, thank you for that. So that's super helpful, too. So thank you. And, here we are. Riffin with Griffin back again. Had a big doctor's appointment today with the baby. 3 months. He's doing good. I think he's like, what was his weight today? I think he was like 13 pounds today or 14 pounds. 14 pounds today. He's tracking big. Head is average size. His height is in the, upper 90 percentile. His length, his weight's pretty good. So, we have a big ass baby. So, that's, you know what I mean? It's exciting stuff. Yeah, but I just appreciate everybody being here every single week. Like I said, yeah, like, you go to these like doctor's appointments every month for the baby and they just like, they keep asking all the questions. Are you doing tummy time? Are you doing this? Are they like, there's all these weird milestones that you have to like get yourself ready for, man. That's the part that's like pretty pretty crazy to think about. All the different, you know what I mean? Like, are you parents out there? You have these like weird milestones that you get really excited about. Like so right now he's laughing a lot, which is really great. I love that. When you see the laughter, man, there's something special about that. I don't know if you guys see, I have a new post up on Instagram, which is pretty great, of just like, one of those trends, but you could just see how he's just like ready to go. Look at that. Look at that little devil. He's just smiling a lot now. I love it, Then he's just like, I have him in a little Comedy Store onesie that they gave me, but he's just like really having a good time now. And so he's like touching his feet. So that's like, I think he's discovering his body, so that's pretty cool. And then he's, he's putting his hand in his mouth a lot. So, these are one of those little weird things that when you look up, and they say, oh yeah, this is, that means he's like self-soothing, or, he's like grabbing his own hair now. And he'll grab his hair when he's breastfeeding. And it's all like these weird things that babies do, you're just like self-soothing. Okay. So that's pretty cool to like, to think about. I mean, things you kind of just say whatever, And then there's all these activities. Rachel was telling me today, like, there's this post about like if you go to do any like baby activities before 3 years old, that's not for the baby, that's for the parent. Like, because they have all these weird like, what do you call it, like baby dance class or all these like, but I guess that's okay because you're building a community with like other people that have kids. Like you've seen these other parents and you're trying to like be involved with them, I guess. But because the reason why we were talking about it is because it's so much to go out with a baby now. Like there's no like, just jumping in the car and go doing something. And, I'll be back in 30 minutes. It's like, my God, what an adventure just to get the baby ready. Make sure, do we change him now? Is he being fed? Then you're like, okay, great. Then you put him in the, you got to get him in the baby stroller. And if he doesn't like it, he's a little fussy. Then it's like, okay, you get him in the car. Then it's like, you can take him out of the stroller again. And we have like a Orbit baby stroller. So it's like a thing you can detach and twists and turns when you put it in the thing, right? So it's just like, oh my goodness. Like, it's just so much every time you go outside with this freaking baby, man. I mean, have you guys, are you parents know about that? Yeah, man. It's so we went to a doctor's appointment today. It's like the doctor's appointment was at like 12:40. We just got back. So we just end up like, okay, let's go eat. And then we like, we went to a restaurant. I feel like a hypocrite because I talk about that. But, we because we like to go to like a sort of like, I like to go to this one fancy place in Beverly Hills because our doctor's almost in Beverly Hills, right? So we go and then like we go to this steakhouse that I love, right? But it's like, it's usually during the day like this. There's not a lot of people there. But I'm like, yeah, just put us someplace where we won't be a menace. So as soon as we get in there and, we're situated and, we got the stroller right there. We take him out. Oh, he starts to like, he's going to start hollering. Like, I'm like, oh, no, let's take him outside. Cause I don't want to be that guy, but it was like, Rachel was like, it's fine. Don't worry. She soothed him real quick. And then she wants to pull a titty out in the middle of a restaurant. I'm like, babe, she was like, this is a restaurant. Everybody needs to eat. So, I was like, what I mean? So it was just like, she was right though, but it's like, I don't have to wait her, but it was like, it was fine. It's during the day. So what are you supposed to do? But, it worked out great. It worked out great. So that's what's going on now. And, again, thanks for the live chat on YouTube. So it's live chat on YouTube right now. So appreciate you guys, being here as always. I got a poll up right now because I'm going to have a whole discussion about passwords and some other stuff that's going on. So make sure you hit, if you have something to say, you can say in chat. So that's, great stuff. You guys that are here all the time. So yeah, it's interesting trying to figure out. What's another thing is like, all babies are different. So I didn't know this. Like Wolf, he does not like pacifiers. So we don't use a pacifier because he just doesn't like it. He's so dramatic with it too. He's like, he puts it in, he goes like this, and then he starts to go. He's like choking on. It's like, okay, kid. You know what I mean? But I thought that was like, well, I thought you were supposed to use a pacifier, but it turns out, you don't need to use a pacifier. So some do, some don't. So because I had another friend, I was like, hey, he has 2 kids, and I was like, do you have an issue with a pacifier? And he was like, oh, this kid hated it, and this one loves it. So it's like, oh, okay. So we just got the first one. Right now, like somebody say, get a feeding blanket. Well, yeah, we have the thing, but here's the thing too: is my kid doesn't like to be covered. So like she's breastfeeding. And if you put something over, he'll literally go up, grab it, and move it off of him. He likes to have one hand on the boob and the other hand on his head like this, and he's like pulling his hair and it's just like really getting in it. And I'm like, my God, it's like it's funny to see the little quirks and personalities, And Rachel, she like knows everything that's about to happen, which is crazy. I guess that's like the unspoken language you have with your kids, because she'll be like, okay, after I burp him, this is gonna happen, and then like it just happened in clockwork. Like she knows when he's gonna poop. She's like, oh, he's gonna poop, and I'm like, oh, really? And then you just like the kid goes in. You know what I mean? The kid goes in. So I was like, gee whiz, man. This is crazy. So like it's just interesting as all this goes on as I see him get bigger. But I really am enjoying his little personality showing up. That just is like such a joy to see, you know? His little smiles and when he wants to play, even when he gets fussy, he has a certain way. So that's like interesting, as a new parent to see how that goes. And he does have my smile, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see the kid like look like you, right? Or just when if they have your mannerisms, that's pretty cool. I've been another thing I've been doing, guys. I've been working out, man. The workout is so I put up when I was just in Austin over the weekend at the Mothership, and shout out to Austin, Joe Rogan, and the Mothership. What a fantastic club, man. All the shows are sold out. Everybody's there for comedy. They love comedy. Their phones are put away, so everyone's engaged. It was really like a fun time, and so I'm staying at this really nice hotel. That's another thing too. They put you in a really nice hotel, and I went into the gym, and it has a great gym because I made myself do it. Like I was tired, but it was like I had 2 shows that night when I arrived, so I was like, you know what? Got to the hotel, I'm chilling a little while, and I was like, you know what? I need to go into the gym. So I went to the hotel gym, and it was a beautiful gym. And I did like a condensed version of my normal workout. So, I'll get on the treadmill, get myself warmed up 10 minutes, or I did 10 minutes. And then I just went and did like 3 or 4 sets of these like the exercises that I do. But I was working, and then I got to the hotel room, and I'm looking at in the mirror, man. And I was like, oh shit, Griffin, look at those traps. So I made a funny video of myself like, look at that. Don't it look like I'm really working out strong? I just, but then the funny part of it, I said, I'm not going to show the lower half because it still needs work. But like, the exercise I was doing really had my shoulders and traps looking all big, better than normal. But the funny part is when you go to the comments, you go to the comments and it'll be like, some people get that I'm being funny. Okay. Like, thank you, those people. And then there's these people that like forget trolls and mean people. Cause that's so obvious. They are what they are. But I love these people who think like they're like trying to tell me, oh, you think you better keep working out cause it's not looking good, whatever. And it's always some ugly bitch, right? With their profile closed. That's my favorite thing. Click their link to say, well, let me see pictures of you. And of course their profile's closed. And it's like a hideous picture of them. You know what I mean? It's like, open up your shit if you're going to talk shit about people. Right? I just feel like that should be a rule. That's like the AI should read your comment, and the AI should be like, oh, you're criticizing this person, so we're opening up your profile so they can see what's going on with you, so it can be even. The AI should be like a divorce mediator, like how they're trying to find, just like so you can like look at both sides, man. Oh, I'm glad you're bringing that up. That's actually an interesting topic. I'll just bring up is the Drake and Kendrick Lamar back and forth. I don't know. I don't know whose side I got. I don't know. I like Drake. If I had to pick between the two, like, let's say you going on the desert, okay, here's the poll. Maybe I should do a new poll question. Okay. So let's see how many people have entered this poll. All right. This poll is done. So people have 11 to 22 passwords, dumb account, anyway, well, you know what? I won't, you can just write in the chat for me. I'm not going to do a new poll. This is already a lot. But somebody's bringing this up about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. So let me just dive into it for a second here. All right, here's my question I put to you guys in chat. So the people that are watching live in chat, you could put just a 1-word answer in the chat, and I'll just look back and forth so I can see what's going on here. But you're going to an island, you're going to be there for 6 months, and the only music you can have is one or the other. Who is it? Are you going to take your Drake Spotify list or Kendrick Lamar? Which one could you listen? That's the only music you have. Okay. For me, it's going to be Drake. Kendrick Lamar is too artsy fartsy for me. And I don't like his cadence of his raps. Like this diss track he made. I don't like it. But you know, there's people who listen to the lyrics and gonna be like, "Oh man, he was killing Drake with some of the things he was saying," but I didn't like it musically. Like, I'm not a fan of that, you know. So right now we got 2 Kendricks and 1 Drake. Another Kendrick. Okay, I see it. So I don't know. You know, I don't know. Now, in terms of the battle, who won, I am more partial to anything that's more fun. Like, I like fun battle raps. Like, for instance, when you think back to a classic battle, it was Jay-Z and Nas, right? So there are people who like love Nas and they love Ether, right? And I just felt like Ether was like, it was so angry. You know what I mean? And I'm like, have fun with it. So I thought Jay-Z's The Takedown, isn't that the name of that one? I thought that was way better because it was just more jiggy. You know what I'm saying? Just the things he was saying and how it was saying it. It was like, you know, I just like that kind of flow better. So in terms of this, I feel the same way about Drake and Kendrick Lamar. I think Drake's take and how he did the song, it's more fun and entertaining. I think he's always aware that, like, hey, if you want to just fight, let's go out back and we can fight in the back of a club, or let's come to the studio and like fight. But no, we're doing a public rap battle. I think there should be some entertainment value in it. But, you know, that's just me. You know what I mean? So it's up to you, man. You know, guys. And dude, if you keep writing the same thing over and over again, like, it's not gonna, you know, I don't like that. You know what I mean? So we get this guy a timeout. I saw your first message. Thank you. So I don't know. So it's really up to you guys what people think. Yeah, like somebody said he's a pop star. I agree. But Kendrick Lamar was trying to be a pop star too. But I will say I think Kendrick Lamar is more artistic. I'm just not into the art. You know, but I can appreciate the things he tries to do with his music, with his performance, with his, you know, the things he tries to, like, he's one of these uplifting, you know, rappers, and I'm just not into that, you know. So, you know what I mean? So I don't know. You think who won? I think who won would be like, well, who we gonna still keep listening to? Who's more influential? Who's more like, you know? I mean, I think it's just like, you know, Drake is obviously more popular, so, you know, it's easy to hate on Drake. I mean, that's what people do. Here's a more popular person, so you're gonna hate on him, but you know, hate and love come from the same place. So I think more people like Drake and hate Drake than like Kendrick Lamar. Make sense? Let me say that again. I think more people like Drake and hate Drake than love Kendrick Lamar. So Drake wins. So overall, I feel like Drake's winning this, you know, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because he already put out 2 songs. You know, he did the AI thing with Tupac's voice, which I thought was like, I was like, what's happening with the world? The AI is crazy. So thanks for bringing that up. But but again, this is just my opinion. I'm more partial to Drake than I am Kendrick Lamar because I'm just not a fan of Kendrick Lamar. But, you know. It is what it is. However you guys feel, it's up to you. You can have your own opinion. So, but only 4 people put a vote in. So the rest of you that are watching and listening don't really care. It's like, or you just don't like the chat. So, yeah, I go into a workout right after this. So, but anyways, that's that. We'll get into more stuff later in the episode. But for right now, let's see. Somebody said, you're turning into a pelican. I think you could fit at least 3 fish in that neck. I'm doing chat, the comments now. All right, I'm in the comments now. Julie Hoy. Oh my God, this is some of the funniest I've seen in ages. I feel like I'm back in college, riffing with my soulmate, buddy, best friends, laughing. That stomach pains kills me. Sleep good tonight, laugh. Okay, that's it looks like a very pretty girl talking about my Matt Rife episode from so long ago. I haven't even had him on the podcast, you know, now that he's all super famous. Maybe I'll when I'm on the road with him next week, I'll do that. We'll see. Let's see here. Marlene or something Diaz 9009. Weird ass name. I love seeing dogs anywhere. If we ban dogs, we are banning children right after. I don't have either a dog or a kid, but I think they're the same. So yeah, I love you, Eric. You're my dad, brother, uncle influence. Love hearing you always. Much love. Yeah, that was like one episode I was talking about. I just feel like we just see dogs in places that I don't think you should see dogs. That's all. It just used to be a thing where you just couldn't have a dog any which place you wanted. So weird, man. Let's see. Uchiwalas. That's a great name, actually. Gonna keep an eye out for your film, Big G. Keep your head up and stay strong, brother. Life is all about feeling everything, joy, loss, and how you know you're alive and you love deeply. To love and to be loved, there isn't much more purpose than that. On another note, we miss Stevie. Do something with your boy. I've been gaming with Steve a lot, and he's actually streaming again. So he's streaming on Twitch now. So check if you're into Steve Lee, check him out. He's funny just to listen to. Let me see what we got here. Nate Speeda 8383. Love when he clowns my sons, but if true, we are as the T-Wolves are better team. I don't know what maybe I didn't read that right. True, we are ass. Oh, I'm sorry. He said true, we are ass. The T-Wolves are a better team. Oh yeah. See now, he remember he was bringing up his sons. What about the Suns, Griffin? Okay, we're going to talk about that when we get to the NBA. When I start talking about the NBA, we're going to talk about Kevin Durant and the Suns. Garbage. All right, last one. Let's see. The Chill Sergeant. I'm sure the kindness you show makes a difference at some point in their life. I don't know what that's reference to, but sounds like a good comment. So, Blue Wave 416. Last one. Good point about Clip's chemistry being terrible. Kawhi got to step up, and the other three need to humble themselves. I actually disagree with that now after watching that last game. But anyway, that's the comments. If you want to comment, go in and comment. And I look through the comments, and so I try to respond and I try to read them. There's a lot of garbage comments too. But it is what it is. But it's all about. I like the engagement. I like knowing you guys are involved. Anyways. So that's that. All right. So today's topics, one of the topics is, I was thinking about this, man. How many passwords do you have, guys? Do you guys like if you think about, so some people like to go like, okay, here's my financial password. So all the financial sites that you use, you'll have this password. And I do recommend having a separate email that nobody knows your email for that kind of stuff. Same thing with social media. I don't think your main email should be your social media email. You should have, that's crazy too, right? To have all these emails, but I think it's important for security and safety. But then everything has passwords, right? Somebody said just use 1, 2, 3, 4. Ha! But check this out. I looked this up, and this is very interesting. But this one website said a study reveals the average person has 100 passwords. 100 is too many passwords to remember, but you probably knew that. 90% of us worry about our vulnerable logins. Damn. That's a lot of passwords, right? If you think about just off the top right now, how many streaming services do you have? Then therefore, you have a password for every one of those. Now, do you use the same password for every streaming service, right? What about all your social media? Like if you have Twitter, Instagram, Threads, or that's the same thing, whatever you have. Dating apps, if you're on those. And then you have all these websites, man. All these websites. Like if I were just to go to if I were to go to my keychain on Mac, they call it keychain, right? And I'm looking at these passwords. I mean, this is crazy. When I look through this, because when your Google or your Chrome save your passwords, and it is this must be 500. It must be 500 passwords for different things. and then some of them are you change it and it keeps it saved, right? And then that's a hassle too. Like the whole process of keeping your password don't even make sense. Like I don't like that. Like if you're using a Mac, and I'm a Mac person, I hate that. Like if you're using Safari and you're saving a password, then maybe you might go to Chrome because there's some things that Safari doesn't work. And then you're trying to like log into a thing and then it's like, it doesn't grab the Safari passwords from the keychain. You have to save your Chrome passwords. That's freaking annoying. So that's already annoying right there. Then you have your email passwords. It's too many passwords. But I totally see why you have to have these many passwords. But then here's the thing that bugs me too. When you have, especially with an iPhone, the iPhone will tell you, oh, this password's compromised. You ever gotten that message? Or it'll say, you're using this password on 50 different sites. And you're just kind of like, okay, yeah, I know, mind your business. But at the same time, it means like if that one password has gotten, like I've gotten so many of those, like this password was leaked in a security breach. So now you're like, oh, damn. But then, like how many passwords? It's just, oh man, it's so confusing. I do think there's too many passwords. But then you have to worry about two-factor authentication. Because somebody could get your password, and because this already happened to me. It happened to me once. Somebody hacked my Twitter. I don't know how they figured that out, but they got into my Twitter, and I was like, oof. And I've had this happen to a friend of mine too, like on their Snapchat. Like you get all these like fake links, and it'll be like, hey, click this link, and it's all fake, and it's a way for them to steal your password, And then like then they own your fucking Snapchat. So my buddy. A buddy of mine, he had his Snapchat hacked, or his girlfriend's Snapchat was hacked. One of their Snapchats was hacked, and then the person was sending them messages because they saw all the nasty stuff they were sending to each other. And they were like, we're going to send this to your work and your job and all this kind of stuff. You need to send us money, and it's like a thing that happens. So, be careful what links you press on these things, But, I told him, I said, don't worry about it, They ain't really going to do that. They just trying to get money out of you. Because once they don't get the money out of you right away, they move on. And especially if you're a nobody, unless you're somebody like, because this has actually happened to a comic friend of mine too. I'm not even going to say who it is, but like, it was like, some very beautiful, beautiful woman is talking to you on Facebook or something like that and being nasty with you and like, let me see a dick pic and blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as you send that, then all of a sudden we've screenshot all this. We're going to send this to the such and such comedy club. We're going to like expose you, unless you send us this amount of money. So it's like, be careful out there. Like, you know what I mean? You can't really trust anybody because you either have to deal with like people trying to like extort you, or you have to deal with clout clowns is what I call them. Clout clowns. So it's people that like, they just want the clout of being like, oh, look who was in my DMs. And then like, or try to like, you know what I mean? So you gotta be careful. You got to be careful who you talk to. But anyways, let's get back to it. Passwords. There's too many of them. So then so what I'm saying is, so now you have this to deal with this. So I have a password. And then I put the password in. And then the thing's like, well, we need to verify that this is you. That's what the damn password is. What are we talking about? So you go, all right, so I'll put the password in. Then they're like, okay, so now either you've put your phone number in and then they text you a code. Now you got to put another code in. Then the computer is asking you, hey, do you want to save that code? You're like, no, that's the code that's going to change. Keep the password from before, please. And then every time you change your password, it doesn't necessarily update your keychain on Mac. So then when you go to it, you have like 5 passwords for this thing. Have you ever done that too? Where you try to log in and it goes, oh, it's not the right password. And you're like, but I don't even have this memorized. So then you have the authentication app, like the Google Authenticator. So that's another one I use. So then you got to put in the password, verifies you, and then you have to open up a new app, find the code from that, which updates fast. So if you don't put it in right away, they say you didn't get it. You got to go get that again, right? And then to open things up. So I don't know. I think there's too many passwords. Just too many. Let me see wow. And I'm surprised that 58% of you on this poll said 10 or less passwords. Well, I'd love to know how you guys do it. You don't got to tell me your passwords, but do you have a trick? I'm going to end the poll. I mean, do you have a trick for your passwords? Some people have a trick. They So, they go like, the password is, every third letter plus 100 times 5, and that's how you do the then you could figure out the password. I mean, that's actually kind of smart unless somebody figures out your code, like whatever your thing is. But I might think of something like that too, It's like, you just go, here's your money, like whatever your money passwords are, your money, it could be like a thing that you can always figure it out. But it's like so much anxiety for like with passwords, man. So many of them. And then like, this is what I'm saying too, is like that the Mac, your iPhone will tell you, you've used this password 75 times. I mean, I get that a lot too. And I'll be like, wait, what? So when you go to like, even if you go to your iPhone right now and you go to the password section, if you just look up passwords on your iPhone now, guys, it'll say, here you go, security recommendations, such and such security. So here, like I have 505 security recommendations, high priority recommendations. This password appeared in a data leak, which puts the account at high risk of compromise. You should change your password immediately. What? And it's like important stuff, man. Yahoo, American Airlines, it's all the same thing. It's like so many of these. Look, I'm just going to go through this just so you can see what I'm saying when you need like passwords for everything. So I have a Yahoo password, American Airlines, Call of Duty, Hyatt, IMDb account, NFL. So I went, I signed up for the NFL. You sign up for stuff, let's see. Then some website, I don't even know what this is, and I signed up for it. Adobe has a password. What is this now? I still got AOL. And then you had your old passwords. Then how about the ArcLight Cinema? Every movie thing that I'm connected to, I have a password for. My audiobooks password. Then the companies I go to, like if you order something, like I order like 2 different coffees from 2 different companies, you got to have a login for that. So I have a password for that. Khalifa Farms, the milk I like to order. Cameo's got a password. How about all the charging companies that I use for my car? I got to have Electrify America password, ChargePoint password. There's like 6 of them I use. They all got different passwords. As I'm looking at this, it's like a ridiculous amount. All the airlines I fly, I have to have passwords because that's where I put my information for the thing. It's like, what? Like you think about it. I actually don't believe you guys. These people that say they have 10 or less passwords, I don't believe you. How? Then you're telling me that you use the same password for everything. And there are people that do that. Like in the chat right now, are you people that you have the same password for 100 different sites? I just that gives me anxiety too. So I don't know, man. I think there are too many passwords. I think these safety checks are cumbersome and time consuming and a little annoying. They have to figure out some way, because even when you use the Face ID on the phone, which I think that's what it should be, right? I think boom, once it has your Face ID, that's what it should be. But even then, somebody takes a picture of you. Can a picture be used? I mean, it's like somebody said, I still remember my Hotmail password from 20 plus years ago. Oh my God, that's so stupid. Remember how you would have an internet company and they would give you an email? And that before they had emails, companies, you would get an email from Time Warner Cable at the time. They had and it would be it'd be your name, Erik Griffin, and then there's 75 Erik Griffin, so it'd be Erik Griffin, _757 at Time Warner Cable dot something 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 dot SoCal, and that would be your email, and you would use it. Then the company would change. Company gets sold. Let's say they got sold to Spectrum or something, right? And then they would hit you up and be like, "Oh, your email has changed." I remember that being such a hassle to be like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna change." Give everybody, and then that's when they came out with these things. Because I remember having mail.com. I don't know if you guys ever remember that. I wonder if that's still a thing, mail.com. I think it went out of business. Yeah, baby, mail.com still a thing. I probably still have an email from this. Oh man, it's like you don't know what it is, your email anymore. I remember I thought it was, let's see. You know, and then you go like forget your password and you change it. I don't even know. Like I don't even know if this is still a thing. Please try again. You've entered an invalid email or password. That's when I'm most frustrated. Does that happen to you? Like you think you know the password, and then you're on this rabbit hole of trying to figure out this password and changing the password. I mean, it's such a hassle. So I don't know. We'll see what's going on with that. Yeah, man. Tell me your thoughts. But I have a lot of accounts, I realize. Oh, but what I do is I make like a little, so I make like a file. You know, I have a file program that's password protected that has all my passwords. So I make myself, if I change my password or I make a new password for something, I also have to remember to go into that app and then save it. And what I'm going to do with that is like, I'm going to make like, I think I'm going to make like a print it out eventually, or have like a directions to the where the file is with directions on how to open it. Because if something happens to me, you know, you're going to want your family to get into all your passwords. You know what I mean? You know, except for like Pornhub and whatever the what you do like that. Okay, so let's talk about a delicate subject. So you know this, they came out with that documentary on, I think it was HBO, called Quiet on the Set, and it was just shocking documentary about the abuse that went on at Nickelodeon, right? And they centered the documentary around this guy, Dan Schneider, who was an admitted, I guess he admitted some wrongdoing in terms of like being an asshole and how he treated people. Okay. So, but here's the thing that gets conflated. You treat people a certain way, you're a dickhead, maybe you're a hard boss, or maybe you were like making inappropriate jokes, or there's a level there, right? But then on that same set that he worked on, that was working on Nickelodeon, was these two guys who were just terrible. They were like for real pedophiles, you know? Like the one guy, it was just a monster. Both of them. One of the guys, he had a journal and he was, you know, collecting things from the girls and stuff. He was a monster. And the other guy, you know, the one star from the show, the Drake Bell, he came out and he told everybody, yeah, this guy did this stuff to me. And the guy went to jail. And, you know, so anyways, so to me, the documentary should have been about those two guys and how they were working at Nickelodeon and how it was crazy. Like, you know, like, I mean, I don't know. Anyways, so that's the thing, though. What happens is like, so here's Dan Schneider, who these women were saying was a terrible boss, chauvinistic, and all that kind of stuff. And I go, okay, cool. Do you make a documentary about that? Is that interesting enough? And then in the same documentary, they talk about these two just monsters. But then they're talking about them all together, and it's conflating like this guy's the same as those guys. There's levels, right? So the guy's suing. He's doing a defamation lawsuit, which is probably going to cost him a fortune. Like defamation lawsuits are, one, hard to prove and win, and they're super expensive, you know? So it's like, this is why you don't oftentimes see them. Like, you know, if you see a celebrity that got in like trouble, quote unquote trouble, and you go, well, they should sue. I mean, if it was that easy, they would, but it's not. And then it's also like the public persona, perception, I'm saying, because it's like, if somebody says some terrible things about you that are not true, and you go, I'm going to sue this person, then it looks like, you know, with the court of public opinion is, oh, you're trying to silence that person from the truth. So you're not even getting the thing that you want because your reputation is now ruined. So we live in a society now where if somebody says something about you, whether it's true or not, it's true because people have said it, and now it goes like you know, hot fire around the internet, and now that your reputation is now ruined. No, it could be no jail time, no arrest. How about this too? No jail time, no arrest, and then you're ruined. Okay, that's a reason to sue someone, right? But now, even suing doesn't even. That's like, especially if it's from a situation where it's someone that has nothing, you can't get any compensation to, like, you know, like if you're going to sue someone, like this guy's suing the makers of this documentary. So maybe they have money, maybe they don't, who knows? he's trying to get it. What I'm saying is like his reputation is ruined, right? Regardless, reputation is ruined, and depending on who you're suing, because like if it could be some crazy person on the internet that's saying terrible things about you, it starts to get traction, like people believe it. And then you want to sue that person, like, yo, you can't just say this, but it doesn't matter because it's such a weird thing. So, but I think that in this situation, he's gonna sue the makers of this documentary because he's saying that they're like, let me look at the thing here. Dan Snyder has filed a defamation lawsuit against the producers of the investigation docuseries Quiet on the Set, which uncovered alleged abuse and misconduct at Nickelodeon and became Max's biggest streaming title ever. The lawsuit obtained by Variety, filed by Schneider's attorney, the portrayal of Schneider is a hit job, while it is indisputable that two bona fide child sex abusers worked on Nickelodeon shows. It is likewise indisputable that Schneider had no knowledge of their abuse. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's like, that's what happens when you, like, that's on purpose. You put that together, right? So I don't know if that's fair, but at the same time, what happens is when you don't treat people right, and then you're put in with these people, it's easy for people to be like, well, you were an asshole. Maybe you did know. Or, you were in charge. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, like, it feels unfair to that guy. And then, because it's everywhere, man. I don't know if you use Snapchat, but Snapchat has these like news story things, and they have these little clickbait things. It's great. It's great. It's terribly great. Because it'll say something like Justin Bieber finally breaks his silence on P. Diddy, and then there's like the picture looks like P. Diddy's kissing Justin Bieber. That's the picture. They photoshopped the picture to look like that. So then you go, ooh, I wonder what this is about. And you go to it, and it's nothing. Like they never do the thing that they say they're gonna do. So it's so bananas. Where you just go, well, what is this, right? So this is sort of clickbaity in a sense of like, I watched the first 2 episodes of Quiet on the Set, and it was terrible to hear these female writers and what they had to deal with Dan Snyder, whether that was true or not. But he himself came out with this video and said, I owe people an apology. So yeah, he was probably a terrible boss. It probably got to his head. He probably was inappropriate in a sense of like, he was saying things to the women and making them do whatever that was happening there, and then you say that, and then you go, and then someone says, and also on the same set that Dan Snyder was in charge of, he hired a pedophile. You know what I mean? Like, as if he knew, as if like, you know what I mean? So I ain't trying to defend this guy because I didn't like what I heard from those writers, and and then some of the things you hear and see, like he let it get to his head, right? But at the same time, it's like I hate when part of your behavior then becomes, people accuse you of something else that you did not do. You have nothing to do with that, and then it becomes you're guilty of that. So I don't know what's going to happen with this. I think, like I say, I think defamation lawsuits are crazy. It's just like having an NDA right now. Like, who really cares about an NDA? People are breaking these NDAs all the time, or like, and then it's like too. It's like the internet. Like, let's say, you're suing. Or you're suing a person, or you're putting criminal charges, or you're doing a civil lawsuit against a star. You know what I mean? And you're like, they did this and that. Okay. And so you sign the NDA, they go, we're going to settle with you. We're going to give you $1 million, and they're going to sign the NDA. Well, who's to say that the people around this person, they see a lifestyle change in your friend, the victim, or alleged victim too, by the way. They see this and they go, oh, and then they go, oh, I know what this is. And then they go on their Instagram or whatever, like, my girl or my girl or boy just got the bag from boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, how do you hide anything now? So I don't even know what the purpose of, I don't even know what the purpose of it is, of NDA now, because it's so easy to leak information and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this. I actually think he might win this case, because like defamation lawsuits are very expensive. And I think maybe these lawyers came to him and said, you actually have a case, man. You have a case. You weren't accused, because he was never accused of anything like that. And the way they're portraying it, and like, this is ruining his reputation. But there's a part of you that's like, well, you know what, dude, you were kind of a dick. So like, yeah, you deserve your reputation to be ruined. So that's like where it's like a slippery, like, I'm kind of teetering on it. It's almost like I don't want him to like be exonerated from like these people who like were treated like shit. But at the same time, he shouldn't be lumped in with something that he didn't do. You know what I mean? It's like it's a weird world we live in right now with that kind of stuff. It's weird. So, but anyways, let's finish up with the NBA. Let's have an NBA discussion. I even think I still have an NBA background I can put up. Oh, I do. I have my NBA playoff background. Let's put that up. I like that. So, man, I tell you, the NBA is, I don't know, man. I'm old. So, like, I've seen this happen before. So, you have like a passing of the guard type of thing that doesn't really happen in the NBA anymore the way it once did. So I remember when Magic and Bird were like the biggest things in the NBA. It was the Celtics and Lakers in the championship almost every year, it felt like, right? And then while they were becoming big and they were still winning championships, you had the Pistons. So the Pistons, bad boy Pistons, were on the brink. Every year they were trying to do it. And then they did it. They won 2 championships. It was back and forth with the Lakers. It was beating the Celtics in the playoffs and then beating the Lakers. So the Lakers beat them and then the Celtics and then the Pistons beat them. But at that time, too, though, what was happening was Michael Jordan was becoming like who he is, right? So you had like the Lakers doing their thing. They lose to the Pistons, and then the Pistons beat the Celtics. The Celtics, Pistons go on, they win, but then the Bulls were doing their thing. And then the Michael Jordan comes in and he sweeps the Pistons right out of the playoffs. And then they go, he beat the Pistons, and then they went and they played against the Lakers, and that's when he beat the Lakers in the championship. And then of course Magic Johnson had HIV. I actually think the Lakers would have beat the Bulls the next year. I really think that, because that was something from what Magic Johnson had done. He always did that. He lost, he came back and he won, but he never got that opportunity. But anyways, it was a sort of passing of the torch, And then you had Michael Jordan doing his thing, and then you had Kobe. Now, the Lakers and Bulls never played in the championship like that, but, you had Shaq and Penny. They beat the Bulls when Michael came back, and then the Bulls came back next year, won. He won 3 more championships, and then he just retired again, right? So, but the league was in a place where you had Shaq and you had Kobe, and they were the ones, And then it got passed on to who? Who did it get passed on to? It was LeBron James, Then LeBron James came, and then it was like, you had LeBron. Now we're at this point now where like LeBron James is like old. He's about to turn 40, but he's still one of the best players in the league, but not good enough to like have his team win. So that, I think, to me, is bad for the league. I think it's bad for the league that he was in the play-in, Steph Curry was in the play-in, right? I think it was bad. I think it was like, these are the giants in the league, right? You had there's no Passover, right? So you had like, even with Kevin Durant, he was trying to beat LeBron, lost when he was at OKC, and then this new juggernaut comes up, the Golden State Warriors. Here they are, right? And then OKC is up 3-1, and then they lose, and then he goes to Golden State. So we never had the proper Passover, right? So then, Golden State wins, LeBron beats them, and then Kevin Durant goes to Golden State, just tears the whole fairness of the balancing of the league up. They win, and now look where we're at. So now we're at this point now, they have this play-in tournament, but now we have like the stars we know, right? The stars we know, they're in commercials, they're in the they're in pop culture. Like what Steph Curry is one of those guys. It's like Steph Curry, LeBron James, and then we have no passing of the torch. Even though there's some really great players, but they can't get over the hump. Zion Williams looked like he was going to be one of these guys. He's playing great in high school. He's got millions of followers before he even goes to Duke. The dude can't stay healthy, right? So we're like, damn. Then you got this kid, Wembanyama guy, right? He looks like he's going to be great. His team's trash. The San Antonio Spurs are trash. He's not even in the playoffs, right? So we're done with him, okay? And then you got like these other guys who are just not fancy stars. They're not out there where we know them, but they're great. Like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He might win the MVP. His team's the number 1 in the West. And that freaking guy, Chet, what's his name? That guy's the truth, man. That dude is so good. But he got injured. And he's like foreign. And you know what it is too? The foreigners, they can't commercially cross over because they don't speak English well. So that, they're in the Coca-Cola commercial all like, hey, my friend, I do that, and we're just kind of like, it's weird. Joker's trying, he reminds me of Gronk, but he's not Gronk because he's got that thick accent. So it's just like, it's not translating, right? And humor is different. Sometimes the nuance of humor and you know what I mean? Like sometimes it doesn't translate, and that's how you do it. You're in commercials and you're all over the place. You're in talk shows talking, and it's like he just doesn't do that. But he's the best player in the league, and it's like the torch. He's taking the torch. He beat LeBron James 11 times in a row, swept him, last year, and then just kicked him out this year. And we're not excited. Are we excited about Denver? They won the championship last year, but are we excited? So I don't know. Maybe the young people are. Maybe you're out there and you're like young, and you're like, oh, I love these new players. I hope so because I want to see the league flourish. But then you got that guy, Ant, and they're calling him the Ant-Man, this might be the guy. He might be the guy. Anthony Edwards, man, from Minnesota. That dude is the truth, man. This dude can jump out of the gym. He plays defense. He's got a jumper. He takes on, they demolished Kevin Durant and the Suns. Listen, I don't want to hear about Kevin Durant anymore. I'm done hearing about him, okay? He never won a championship in OKC. He left a team up 3-1, lost, and he, instead of like saying, let's come back and beat him, he leaves that team, goes to Golden State. He wins 2 championships. Then he goes to the Nets with Kyrie Irving. Sweep. Bye. Can't even stay in the playoffs. Can't even stay healthy, the team, even him. Then now he's with the Suns. Swept. Bye. Last year, bye. I'm done hearing about him, okay? He's going to be one of these guys that's never going to live up to the potential that we thought, okay? Get out of here. I'm done. This is what we need, though. We need Minnesota to beat Denver in a great series. And he needs to be the best player on the court and the reason why they win. The games need to be compelling. Then we need OKC to beat whoever comes out of Clippers Dallas, right? Or even if it's Dallas. And because even like Luka is another one that's like this great, fantastic player. He talks trash, but you listen to him and you're like, why aren't you? He don't want to do commercials and all that kind of stuff. He just wants to be chubby and play well, and it's like he's like, I just want to collect my cash, like Tim Duncan or something, It's like, but this is an entertainment business, and these stars need to like carry the torch of the league, and the best players are all foreign, and they don't want to do it. They're not doing it. So Anthony Edwards he's our hope. This is our hope that Anthony Edwards is going to be the one. But I would love to see Minnesota, but literally I really want my Clippers. I would love to see my Clippers win the championship or get to the championship. Come on. But like, I feel like they're better when Kawhi Leonard doesn't play. But that's a whole other discussion we'll talk about later when the next rounds start. But I think the league's, it could possibly be in a good place, but we need these young players to take the next step with their team, with their social presence, commercially, and get the entertainment value up. So hopefully I'm really looking forward to this Denver-Minnesota series. I think the winner of that is going to win the championship. And over in the East, we just need The Celtics need to just get to the championship and win, because Jason Tatum, see, this is what I'm talking about. Jason Tatum, he's out there, he's doing commercials, but he don't win. And his personality is kind of boring, you know? So maybe we actually need the Sixers to come through and win, but the guy's hurt all the time. And then the Knicks, you got Jalen Brunson. Like, is he that guy? But he don't look like a prototype person you want to root for. He just like a little scrappy guy with bad hair. See, there he is right there. You see how he looks right there? Let me wait. That's not. You're not selling Sprite with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's like we need these guys to step up and do well. Oh, and then you got what's his name from this guy from Memphis, man. He's getting in trouble off the court. Like, he's another one dynamic player that we wanted to see. So I don't know. I just think that the league's in a weird place. Antetokounmpo, this guy, he was supposed to be the next guy. He can't stay healthy. Hurt again. 3 years in a row in the playoffs. After he won the championship, 3 years in a row now, he can't stay healthy. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. Hopefully, the next round of the playoffs. And hopefully these guys will, step up and really give us the sports entertainment at its best is when you see these guys and they're just going for it. You know what I mean? All right, guys. I want to thank you again for watching Riffin with Griffin. That was a quick hour. Wow, I didn't think I was going to do an hour. Make sure you subscribe, okay? Make sure you subscribe and hit the Twitch follow or join Patreon, because I do have content every Monday. Monday Nuance coming at you. I just go into a subject and I hit the nuance of it. And I appreciate you guys for watching Riffin with Griffin and listening to Riffin with Griffin. You know how we do now. Yeah! You know what this is called? It's the rap recap. Woo! Eric G's back. Let me hit you with that clap. The NBA is on its way. Better watch. Don't be Ant-Man. The man got a plan. I'm a fan like Stan. Woo! Ultra, man. Quiet on the set. That's all I'm gonna say. Too many passwords. You need another way. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching Riffin with Griffin. Thanks for listening. And I'll be here every week till I'm not anymore. But we'll see. Thank you. And I catch you next week.